Hello and welcome to another edition of the Franchise Tag Overtime. I'm Gareth Smith, and today I'm joined by Orlando Guardians star quarterback Quinten Dormady. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Now, thank you very much for coming on today. Truly appreciate your time, particularly after the performance of last weekend. Let's delve straight into that. How good did it feel to finally get that first W of the season?
Amazing. Obviously, we've been waiting a little longer than we wanted to. It's definitely been a roller coaster of a season, been in some really close games, just haven't been able to finish it. Last week to be able to go out there in front of the home fans, play a great team in DC, and come out with a win in a close game in the fourth quarter. That's what great teams do. So definitely trying to build on that moving forward here in the last 3 weeks of the season with a chance to make the playoffs. So can't ask for anything more.
And I think you definitely set the XFL world on fire a little bit last weekend with that win versus a team that I don't think many people had you down for beating the 6-0 at that point DC Defenders, who looked at points unstoppable against some of the opposition they played. They basically ran it down teams' throats a lot of the time and yet you seem to find weaknesses in their defense that not a lot of the teams have found. How do you think that win came about for yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they're a great defense. Their offense is obviously, to that point in the season, been unstoppable. And we came up with one stop more than they stopped us. So put us in a position to win the game. But I mean, we knew going into the game that their defense was good, and they have a great DC who has a lot of experience. And we weren't quite sure how they were gonna play us. Obviously, with them running the ball on offense the way that they do, they probably play a little bit more conservative of a defense, dropping guys into coverage and making you take all the underneath stuff and not creating big plays. So they make you drive the length of the field. And credit to us in the offense, getting it done enough. I mean, there's definitely still mistakes that we made that we want to correct this week and moving forward. But guys came out and made plays. We had fun out there. I mean, I've been saying it all week in all my interviews. Like that's what football's about. I mean, we all love this game. So just trying to have fun in a season that's had a lot of lows. But I think we did that, and the guys, had the right mindset going into it, and obviously came out with a win. So just trying to build on that and keep the spirits high. So.
And I've noticed there seems to be some really good relationships developing with yourselves in the wide receiver and tight end calls that you have there in Orlando. How important is it to have such a good range of weapons available to yourself? Because I definitely think Orlando went big in that space.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. We've obviously added a few more additions last week in Jordan Thomas and Katie Cannon, and they showed up big. I mean, that's a credit to the coaches and to them. Coming in, the coaches putting them in a position where they can go out and play fast and show their skill set and not have to worry about too much. In their first couple of days in the offense. It can be a lot on your mind mentally, and then you go out and play slow. So coaches put them in a good position to go out and show their skill set, and then O-line block their butts off and enough time to get the ball out on some big plays for them and turn into touchdowns. So it's been awesome to have them. I'm glad they're part of our team now, and definitely looking to build on that moving forward because, like you said, we got a ton of weapons on offense. We're going to have to spread the wealth for sure because we got a lot of dudes who can make plays, so it's exciting.
And it's interesting because obviously you've got a Super Bowl winning former wide receiver, now tight end, who is currently setting the league on fire as a tight end this year. How good has Cody Latimer been this year?
I mean, as good as you can be. I mean, he's a great dude off the field and obviously a great player on the field. So it's been, exciting to watch him and be as close as I am with him off the field. And that shows on the field with how he plays, how we connect, and really smart player, understands what I'm trying to do with the ball and when I need to get it out because that's key. I mean, I want to get it out for the guys up front and not be sitting back there taking sacks. And so he's been a great outlet for me. And obviously Shane Matthews been calling a great game. I'm just the mediator back there getting into the playmakers. Like you said, I mean, we got a ton of them. So I'm just trying to get the ball out quick and let them go to work.
And you mentioned the O-line there, and those guys often in American football gets kind of become the forgotten guys on a team. And how much of an important has it been seeing the improvements that line has made, and also how cleaner they are getting? You're not getting as many flags as leading to the team being put in awkward situations. How good has it been to see the improvement from that whole O-line as a whole?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, like you mentioned there. I mean, the biggest thing was trying to eliminate the penalties. Too many, self-inflicted penalties. I mean, holdings and stuff like that. They're going to happen, right? But eliminate the pre-snap penalties, the false starts, and stuff like that. When in all reality, the reason we're getting those and changing up the snap count and stuff is to try to help them out. So I mean, that starts with me making sure that they know how the cadence is going to come out, and we're clean and concise about that, and then just being on the same page during the game when we are changing up the cadence, trying to help them out, not let good D lines get off the ball all the time. And I think I don't know what the stats were last game. I know we had a few, but I mean, overall, I thought penalty-wise was a lot cleaner of a game. We had a couple turnovers there at the end, which are not good, and those got to go away. But that's a credit to the team and really to the defense, and holding their end up and getting those stops late in the game when we were kind of hit a lull there, and we're giving them the ball back, trying to really hand the game away. But teams stuck together. We when we were coming off the field after turnovers and they were going on, it was all positive stuff. We got your back. We're gonna get it back. Stay locked in. We're good, which is awesome to hear as a quarterback. Like, the defense, they 100% have our back, and we're doing a hell of a job letting them get rest and not going 3 and outs. I don't even know if we had a 3 and out in the game, maybe one.
I can't remember one.
But that's key, that they're not coming off, getting a drink of water and having to go right back out there. So definitely played more of a complete game, and like I said, we're just trying to build on that and keep it rolling.
And one thing that has been quite interesting seeing your development since you've come in and become the starter. What do you think the key has been to your rapid growth in such a short period of time as the starter in Orlando?
I mean, I think guys are making plays, but I've been confident in my abilities from day one. I knew what I could do. I just, needed that opportunity to go out there and prove it and show it, because that's what it's about, right? So credit to the coaches for giving me the opportunity and putting their trust in me to go out there and do what I've done. But I mean, I don't play the way I've been playing without, the O-line blocking their tails off and the receivers making big plays. I mean, that's the reality of it. And I mean, I haven't really mentioned the running backs, but having the run game be a factor is huge in the pass game. So, having running backs that are willing to, beat their head against the wall for, 3-4 yards here and there to then maybe have one big run, a game is it's key. To know that we can get those hard-earned yards is a huge advantage for us. So, it's exciting the way the offense is moving right now, and I mean, I keep going back to it, but we're just trying to build on it, going forward, because we're in the playoff hunt, and just trying to take it a day at a time and one game at a time and see what happens. It's all in our hands right now.
And you just mentioned it there, the playoff hunt. It's unusual for a team at this stage in the season who get their first win to still be in the hunt. But I think the difference is how your offense is moving compared to some of the other teams in the South right now means you really do have a shot. You're up against a team this week in Arlington who we're not 100% sure who their quarterback is going to be, because they've just added Kelly Bryant to the roster. They've not long had Luis Perez added to the roster. It's seems and their offense hasn't clicked. And in fact, when you played them early on the season, it was a game that I thought Orlando should have won. It was one of those games that is, as you mentioned, looking like you're trying to beat yourself. That game, I felt that you as a team, beat yourselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
How confident are you going into this weekend against this Arlington Renegade side?
Yeah, I mean, we're I think as confident as you can get without being lackadaisical, I guess. I mean, I think we're obviously coming off a huge win.
Yeah.
So that brings team morale way up from what it's been, and I wouldn't say it's been low by any sort of the imagination, but it's been, like I said, an up and down season with more lows probably than highs, but we're confident going into the game. We're feeling good. I think we got another good plan. It's just going out there and execute and eliminate the penalties, like we have and got better at last week, but now we need to eliminate the turnovers. And that's the number one factor in winning and losing games statistically. So if we can go into the game and have a clean game as far as turnovers go, I mean, I think that obviously skyrockets our chances, as well as just going out there and executing. I mean, like we have been. I think we've offensively have played really well the last three weeks or so, and put up points. So that's what it's about. I mean, I this whole season I've kind of alluded to, let's just go out and score one more point than the opponent, and it's kind of ironic, last game was 1 point, but and that's what matters, right? I mean, it's you don't have to blow teams out. I mean, these teams, they're professional football players too, right? So I mean, games are going to be close, but to be a good team, you gotta come down and win at the end, like we did last week. So I mean, we're confident, we're ready to go, and ready to see what we can do and put on a show.
And it's interesting how the rules in the XFL have been set up, particularly on the extra points, can lead to some really unusual score combinations and leading to winning by one. Usually in the NFL, if a team's won by one, some kicker's really upset with life because he's missed an extra point. But in this league, it's completely different. The fact that how teams make the decisions, whether to go for 1, 2, or 3, can have massive implications come the end of the game. And so it's interesting to see whether that kind of way in which points are decided in the XFL could become used in the NFL. Is that something you think could happen?
I don't know. It's definitely been interesting, like you said, with the different point system, and it's kind of frustrating, honestly, to a certain extent, because it's like, you can, like you said, you can lose games because of it, and that's what makes it cool if you're down, because you can, one score game is 9 points.
Yeah, crazy.
But it's just so tough. I mean, normally, like, in any other league I've played, college, stuff like that, you go into a game with like 2 good 2-point plays, right? Like, just in case you need them. Now it's like, what you got to get really creative, and it makes it really hard, but it also makes it interesting for the fans. So I don't know if that's something that would be implemented at any other level, but it sure is interesting for this league.
And now it has been very interesting to watch. And obviously this weekend up against Arlington, tough game, but obviously wish you good luck in that game. Fans, make sure that you do get, if you are in the Orlando area, make sure you go and check out the team, cheer them on to hopefully get their second victory of the season and one step closer to that South Division playoffs. But thank you very much for your time today. It has been truly grateful for your time. Hopefully get you on again once you make the playoffs a bit later on in the season.
For sure. No doubt. I appreciate you having me. It's been great talking with you, and look forward to it.
Cheers. Thank you very much for your time. And obviously, thank you very much for listening at home. And we'll be back again soon with another very special guest.